Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we have some unfortunate tidings regarding fan festivals for Final Fantasy XIV. Apologies, there hasn't been much in the way of videos in the last week and a half, but there's been more important things happening, and we'll touch a little bit on that towards the end of the video. Just haven't been particularly motivated with the recent events. So, on to Final Fantasy XIV related news, though. I felt it was worth making a video about this because something we've all pretty much expected for the past couple of months has now been made a reality. The producer and director, Yoshi P, for Final Fantasy XIV has taken to the forums to make one of his letter from the producers. Not live, just a normal letter from the producer. And it, in great detail, basically says that North American Fan Festival has officially been canceled. Now, canceled is the correct word for it, but they are actually looking at maybe moving the event in North America to the first half of 2021, as stated here in this fourth paragraph. Now, of course, they didn't want it to come down to this, but there was no way it was going to happen. I think most of us had come to terms with this over the past couple of months and would have been heavily surprised. Something that I was predicting and also kind of hoping for is kind of mentioned here in this fifth paragraph, where it's kind of cut off on the side, unfortunately. Let me do this, that way we can actually see the whole thing. So even in the first half of 2021, odds are there are going to be safety guidelines, requirements. So they're talking about not only hosting a physical event, but some alternative to realize the event digitally. Now, obviously, we're used to having some degree of live stream minus the concert. So that seems like the most, I guess, normal avenue that we would expect something like this to take place. But alternative ways to realize the event digitally sounds a little bit more involved, almost. I'd be really interested to see if they could take what is normally a live event and make it in some way available digitally. Events in the game itself would actually be a really cool way to do it, though I don't think they would take it quite to that extreme. That being said, the next question then becomes Fan Festival Japan and Fan Festival Europe. Now, Japan is scheduled for December, only a month after North America, so I had kind of forgotten it was so close to the North American date, and I'm not very hopeful for that. For some reason in my brain, it just wasn't that close. Europe, I still think, is relatively possible, but I'm so weary about thinking that any of these could happen. There's so much unknown that's going to be happening over the next, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no way of knowing how everything's going to pan out. So North America, gone. We'll see in 2021 for that one. I wouldn't be surprised to see the other two at this point. Things really need to take a very different turn for those, in my opinion, to actually happen. So hopefully everyone is kind of tempering their expectations overall. Now, they do take some time here to talk about not only, no matter what form it takes, we are examining every available avenue to bring you the most memorable 14th celebration in the most enjoyable manner possible. Keep out for more news on the horizons. I wonder, I originally thought they were going to do this in the live letter itself because they said various other announcements, but around June is when the tickets are normally available. So I guess they really felt the need to put this out now. They just couldn't hold out because if they were going to still hold the event, tickets would have to go on sale, probably starting in mid to late June or even early July, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now, we've been relatively keeping up to date regarding how their development of patch 5.3 is going amidst the pandemic. Now, they said that despite some translated comments, I said they were up to near full capacity. It seems that they still attribute about 10% of capabilities are still being lost. Work-to-home network issues, reduced debug efficiency, and just general stress. They are working towards getting that just fully going. They said that they're at near full operation, and he'll finally be able to check some of the content, play through the main scenario, and some of the other stuff. The QA team is also going to be back at, full capacity partway into June. We're partway into it now, so I'd probably say another 2 weeks or so. They're still making progress with this very, very, very different situation for them. And I'm glad to see that throughout everything they've managed to get back to where it was. So they confirmed what I thought, that June 16th was the original day for the patch. Now, we suspected this because the Moogle Tombstone event started on the 18th of May, which was exactly 4 weeks prior to June 16th, which is in line with what they usually do with that. It's usually exactly 4 weeks before the patch will actually happen. Good to know that that is still a consistent thing we can kind of judge patch dates on, because we're going to continue to use that into the future. But as we said before, more than a month delayed at least. Now they're saying more than a month at least, which means it can still get longer, but hopefully we'll have a new release date in the future. Yoshi P did mention in a translation on one of the live letter reruns in the past day or two that they are holding a live letter in July. We don't know when, honestly, probably mid to late July, but it's still very much a mystery. Of course, I'm wishing everyone affected by the pandemic speedy recovery, or just to be safe, and that's how they capstone this. So that's what the most recent news is. Again, it's important to the channel to make a video about what's going on here, but the pandemic is one of, two major events taking place, and the other one is one that you probably won't see for the next, I don't know, for me, at least half a week to a week. State of the Realm, we're not doing this week. It just wasn't going to happen between scheduling changes and just focusing on other things. So that's that formal announcement here. Next week we will be doing it on Tuesday at the normal time, Tuesday at 4 p.m. for the live stream, and then of course it'll be available on Wednesday. We will still be doing Mondays with Mr. Happy as well. You probably hear something along the lines of what I'm saying right now, because it's even just doing this video just doesn't feel right. I have to acknowledge everything that's going around, just around the United States, but it's around the world now. It started with largely United States-based, protests that have been going on for Black Lives Matter, and it's really moved all around the world, and it's crazy. And one of my closest friends is affected by this, and I want to be respectful, and I want to do the best that I can do to be there for him, for my friend, for my other friends in the industry who have dealt with things that I've seen even just as of like 30 minutes before this, some disgusting things happening over on Twitch, in Twitch chats. It's unbelievable. So under the video, at the very least, the least I can do is include some links to anyone who wants to educate themselves, sign petitions, anything like that for Black Lives Matter. I'll be including that in the description at the very top. Under that will be the source for this, and then under that will be my usual nonsense. So be sure to click on those links, support anything that is on there, petitions, donations, whatever it is. Put your money towards that. Don't put it towards me as a content creator. And just, I hope we're on the same page with this one. It's, when I feel motivated to do content again, when I feel like it's appropriate, we will, and important announcements, we will. But for now, this Monday's State of the Realm, and I don't have a guarantee of when the next video will be, because it just doesn't feel appropriate. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening through this section. Be sure to click those links in the description, and I will see all of you for Mondays with Mr. Happy. That'll be the next video we put out on Monday. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.